Ithiel, and today we are going to talk about Pokemon Picross. No, not the 2015 Freemium DS title, although it's pretty fun. We are going to be talking about Pokemon Picross for the Game Boy Color, which I have here running on my Game Boy Micro. And it was discovered in a hack of Nintendo's servers in, I think, September of last year. The ROM was pulled out, and then there was an English translation that was made, which is what I am playing here. I will leave a link to it in the description box below. So basically, what you do is you go through and you complete nonogram puzzles, which is like Sudoku with pictures. Basically, they go by many different names. Gridlers and things like that, but Nintendo calls it Picross. And Nintendo's first Picross title was actually Mario's Picross, which was on the Game Boy, and it released in the United States and in Japan, but it didn't do very well, so subsequent Picross releases were only released in Japan. So Pokemon Picross was announced, and it was published in magazines, and then it just never came out. It was supposed to come out in 1999. And I suspect it would have been on one of those carts that was compatible with both the Game Boy Color and the original Game Boy, just with a lot more color, you know, in the Game Boy. So you have 2 slots to save your data. It's very nice Pokedex data here. I've played through the entirety of the main campaign, which has unlocked Safari Picross, which is even a little bit more difficult. So basically, when you start up the game, you'll see a tutorial. And Professor Oak will just teach you how Picross works. And if you've played Mario's Picross, all 5 of you, then this whole GUI is very familiar to you. It seems to be like the exact same engine. And even if you play Mario's Picross 2, then it's even more similar. That game only came out in Japan though. But here's Professor Oak telling you how Picross works. You put blocks where it says to, and you leave blocks open where it says to. And basically it's a logic puzzle. So see, he's just created a Pokeball here. What I like about this over Mario Picross is that all of the puzzles are Pokemon related. Some of them are also pretty large. You can do up to 20 by 20 grids. You do those in 4 pieces of 10 by 10. And the music is, of course, pretty iconic. Okay, Oak. That's enough. So then you can go through an easy Picross where you just do these very simple puzzles here that are small, and they're Pokemon items, basically. So we'll do one. Let's see, let's do the rare candy. That's just a simple little puzzle. You get 20 minutes to do it. And then you have this par time of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And if you make par, then you get a better icon instead of just a Pokeball for having solved it. And if you solve 8 puzzles in each area above par, then you unlock bonus levels. I have not unlocked any of the bonus levels, and I have completed all of the other main puzzles. And a lot of that is because the game is not very forgiving of you making mistakes. So for every mistake that you make, it'll take minutes off of your time. And it will start with not a lot of minutes, 1 minute. And it'll get up to 8 minutes after you make, 4 or 5 mistakes. So it gets pretty dramatic. And sometimes, since you have Pikachu up there in the corner instead of, whatever picture you're chiseling out, you just kind of have to take a guess. And sometimes your guesses are right, and sometimes your guesses are wrong. And there's not always a whole bunch of logic to it. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, also, since it's such a small screen, it's pretty easy to miss what you're clicking on. Because obviously I'm emulating it on my Game Boy Micro. You can hit the B button to mark off spaces that shouldn't have any blocks in them, which is convenient. Especially in the larger puzzles. There you go. Solved it. It's a rare candy. So every single original Kanto Pokemon and a bunch of these items have been resprited for this game, and they're really lovely, and I'll go through the Pokedex in a minute. But so that's Easy Picross, and then once you're done with Easy Picross, you can go to Pokemon Picross, where you go through 10 different areas, starting with the Viridian Forest, then Mount Moon, Sea Cottage, SS Anne, Pokemon Tower, Sylph Company, Cycling Road, Power Plant, Seafoam Islands, and Cerulean Cave with a little Mewtwo in there. So then here's the Pokedex, where you can see the Pokemon that you've solved. You see I've completed 140 puzzles, which means I just have the secret ones to do. And the secret ones are the final evolutions of the starters, the legendary birds, Mewtwo, Dragonite, and Gyarados and Magikarp. So as you go through your decks, you can click on the Pokemon and it'll load the sprite that you had to solve for them in the Picross. You can print it out. Actually, if you have a Game Boy printer, it had printer compatibility, which is really cool. You can go ahead and retry the puzzle right there from the Pokedex if you want to try and beat your score, to try and unlock, you know, some of those special puzzles. And yeah, it just goes in Pokedex order. And then once you complete all 10 of those areas, and completing an area counts as doing 8 puzzles in that area. So once you've completed all 10 of those areas, then credits roll. You can rewatch credits by clicking on memories here, and you unlock Safari Picross. So Safari Picross is a little different from Pokemon Picross in that it doesn't tell you when you've made a mistake on big puzzles. You just kind of have to keep going until it says, yeah, you're right. But the pictures that it does are a lot cooler than just the standard Pokedex pictures. See here, I've got a surfing Pikachu. And Pikachu riding a Lapras. Onix has scared Diglett. Very cool one of Mewtwo and Mew. And Haunter being silly. And there's loads more that I haven't even started in on yet. 51 total in the Safari Zone, and 150 total in regular Picross, plus the Easy Picross. So you have well over 200 puzzles. So this will keep you entertained for a long time. Reasons I don't think it was released. Well, for one thing, I don't think it was going to be released in the West because Mario Picross did not do well here. For another thing, it's a bit difficult, especially with how unforgiving it is when you make a mistake. It's a bit difficult to unlock those special puzzles. So if this is something that's aimed towards kids, then I can see why it might have gotten scrapped, even though it's pretty much complete. But if you like puzzle-style games, I recommend it. I think it's better than the 3DS one. It's certainly a lot more entertaining. The music is great. The sprite work is great. It's just a beautiful time. And the last thing that I'm going to show you before we close out this video is how you can swap your Pokemon partners. And the partners don't do anything but provide moral support and change your background music. But as you go throughout the game, you can unlock all of these. So you can have Jigglypuff, Clefairy, Squirtle, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Pikachu. So see the background music change when I pick Charmander. The other thing that you can do is you can do a hint, and you'll have to spend some of your time to get a hint. So in most cases, if you get a hint, you can't get that par score anymore. But let me show you what hint does. So you kind of have a roulette where you can tell it where to stop, and then it fills in those rows. Oh, look, it filled in a row of 10. Very helpful. Excellent. So then Charmander, or any of your partner Pokemon, you know, when you mess up, they get disappointed. Yeah. And then when you lose, they get even more disappointed. So it's just a cute little thing, and then you can see your sprite of your partner Pokemon walking around the map while you choose your game. So overall, I really recommend Pokemon Picross. I recommend you giving it a try. I think it's wonderful that there is an English translation available, a fan translation available. And, you know, if you like puzzles, if you like old school Pokemon, yeah, go for it. It's really fun. So thanks for watching. See you next time.